app, and I think you want to move everything to that gradually and control it more and more, right?
Namaste, Sat Shri Akal, Assalamu Alaikum. Being Salman Khan, very difficult. But together we are managing it and doing a pretty good job. So whatever I'm going to should not be held against me in the court of law.
That's agreed.
Because it just gives him more work and he's too burdened with the amount of work I'm giving him. From handling being human to the cases to everything. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you. So I think the perception for many, many years has been that what you can achieve for a film is actually completely unparalleled by any of the other superstars, which puts you as a superstar from what I understand, from what everyone tells me. And the latest film you had released is another test. I to the China market, from what I understand, but I'm seeing another film doing fairly well. And I think that will be another eye-opener for people as to how to develop a brand in a jurisdiction outside India. So what are your thoughts on China for yourself?
So I'll just take it like this happened day before yesterday in my life that I signed Maine Pyar Kiya. So I think of it as it's been about 30 odd years, but for me it was day before yesterday that I was doing some commercial and the leading lady in that commercial, who I don't quite remember, was auditioning for Bhagishree's role. She recommended me there. Then my dad's friend and associate, name was Mr. Hani Chaya. He knew somebody at Rashi Productions, so he recommended my name there. And another two people went and recommended my name for Maine Pyar Kiya. So I don't know how they thought of me to be brain, and eventually I got a call from Suraj Gupta ji, who was still there, handling production there. So he called me up and he said that we want to meet you. I went, met them, and here I am today.
Rest was history.
So if they wouldn't have recommended my name for Maine Pyar Kiya, I don't know what my life journey would have been. It would have been Maine Pyar Kyun Kiya. But it would have been, if not Maine Pyar Kiya, something else. But this journey from Maine Pyar Kiya, which I started off as not knowing that whether I'm going to make it or not. And it was very difficult at that point in time because there was another kid growing up with us, and he just signed a film. And his film became a really big hit. And that kid's name is Amir Khan. So we live in the same vicinity, same locality. And I thought that if he's made it, and if I don't make it, the whole of Bandra's going to be laughing at me. So my concern was only Bandra. And the friend circle. Today we both are here.
So coming to Being Human, that's a new brand for you relatively, although it's now well established. And I think the model which you've established, as I've understood it, is that it should become self-sustaining. And while most charities and NGOs keep awaiting donations, and I know you like donations to come as anybody else would, because it's going.
They don't like giving donations.
That's the next step. But to make it a self-propelling, self-sustaining organization, and the work you're doing is amazing there, which I know some of, but a bit about that.
So the first thing that I was thought was to give, and this I remember one of Dad's friends came home and they used to have these eating competitions in Indore. So now Dad came here with 60 rupees, and then from there he, never turned back to his family and asked them for money. So he was going through this really bad phase, and that friend after years came over and, they had a few drinks and they started eating. So my dad at that point in time used to make 750 rupees. And so घर का खाना खत्म हो गया. पड़ोस, our neighbors, we were really close to them. उन्होंने खाना भेजा, वो भी खाना खत्म हो गया. And that friend just didn't stop eating. I must have been about 5. So mom was saying कि अब ये भी खत्म हो गया, वो भी खत्म हो गया. So my dad eventually went to the bedroom. He picked up Sohail and he put him on a table. Sohail was just born. He said, भाई अब यही बचा है, इसी को खा जाओ. Thank God that guy didn't eat Sohail. We have one brother missing. So, my parents have been doing this, very regularly and really quietly. All what we, brothers and sisters did, it just got a name to it, being human. And we just got slightly more organized. Because what used to happen earlier, that people used to come and they used to basically lie to us and take money. So that buying system has been gone now. So only if that person really requires it and needs it, do we help that person. So there are some people who come to us, कि हमको 2.5 लाख रुपए चाहिए, मेरी बेटी की शादी है. So all that we don't encourage. We don't even acknowledge that. क्योंकि मेरे खुद के फादर की शादी हुई 180 रुपए में. तो and we are born out of 180 rupees. We are 5 of us. So I don't think that, and this is again Suraj Bajatia's fault. Because हम आपके हैं कौन and मैंने प्यार किया and हम साथ साथ हैं. All these films that that marriages have become such a big thing and you spend like lakhs and lakhs and crores of rupees in getting somebody married. That I can't afford. That's the reason I'm still unmarried. I gotta pay that money.
So the name Being Human, it's a really fantastic name by any standards in terms of it just says so much in itself. And does that make it easier to promote? Or you don't need to promote it?
No, so actually the name, sometimes, like I said, whatever I say right now is from my heart, and because you guys really want to know how this Being Human name came about. So there was a t-shirt that a friend of mine had made. It's called Human Being. And I was having a drink on the other side. This table, this t-shirt was there. So I was having a drink. And then sometimes these things do help. In limits and moderation, they do. So since from that side it was human being, from my side it was being human, which I'm still trying to be. So that's how Being Human, this name came about. And we were looking for a name for the charitable trust. And I called my sister up and I said, no, I've got the name. This is what? And I said, it's Being Human. And the first time my sister actually, Alvira, thought it was a great idea. Usually it takes them a lot of time. It takes them 3-4 years to understand. For me to tell them that, see, I told you so. He said, but that was so far-fetched at that one time. So she jumped at this and we registered the name Being Human. And then, so when you start a charitable trust, you need money. You need money to help. So I used to, I did not want anyone like me to be in helping out Being Human, the charitable trust. I'll tell you why. Because there is this one foundation that does a lot of good. It's called Cancer Patients Aid Association. So once I gave them 11 lakh rupees. And I got work done from them close to about 1.5 crore. So I didn't want anyone to give me that token amount. And then मेरा एक patient आया है, so भारी पड़ता है. So what we did at that point of time is, first we requested some friends to put in some money into the charitable trust. So first it came. The second time I extorted 11 lakh rupees from my friends and co-stars and colleagues. And then I realized that they might want to do something with their own money, save for it, save the money for a rainy day, etc., etc. Why should we give his charitable trust any money? Which made a lot of sense to me. So the thought that came into my mind at that point of time was, okay, you're going to lose friends because you're going to ask them for money. You want to do a good deed? You do it on your own. You do it on your own. So at that point in time, so I just started painting then. See how things fall in place. I just started painting then. And Mithun Chakravarti's son, Mimo, was being launched at a music release. So I wore a t-shirt with my painting. 2 days later on, I was passing by Linking Road and I saw all those, just that t-shirt. The whole Linking Road was filled with that particular t-shirt that I wore. That's when this idea that came into my mind was, start your own clothing brand. So for that you need a partner. Then everything that I wanted to start with Being Human was wanting to start it really small. So you know the 1,000 ka figure, you know the lakh ka figure, then you know 10 lakhs and crore and so on. I didn't want to start, jump into it like really big. So we tied up with cotton wool. So we just made 3 t-shirts, one grey, one black, one white, and we're just Being Human. They sold out. Totally sold out. And they made quite a few pieces and it was gone before they even knew it. And at that point in time, this awareness also was not there. Being Human is Salman Khan's brand. Just the name Being Human sold out everything. Then from there we got Mandana. We are, as a clothing brand, we've really grown. So whatever money that comes from, like the clothing brand, to the jewelry, to now we've introduced e-cycles, which are going to be okay. And now gym equipment is going to come in. Look at it like small things. I started at a really small level. So whatever money that comes, we pay our taxes, and our part of the money, our profit, goes into the charitable trust. So the worst thing that would happen is Being Human, dying a death, whatever cause, natural or whatever cause, before Salman Khan would be the worst thing ever. So Being Human should live on and on.
If I can ask a personal curious question, which has puzzled me since I've got to know you. In the industry, it probably started, but today, wherever I, in any manner associated with you, it is always Bhai. And initially I was saying, who is Bhai? They say, Salman Bhai. Okay, so how did that start, if I may ask?
So earlier that Bhai connotation used to be like a dabang kind of it was like a negative connotation to Bhai, Bhai. So it was related to the underworld and stuff like that. Now, because Sohail calls me Bhai, so all Sohail's friends started calling me Bhai. Now it so happens that even seniors have started calling me Bhai. And I'm like, really bad. So I did. But from Salman, Sallu to Salle to Sallu Bhai to Bhai has been a quite a good journey. But it also depends on some people you really like, and you just when you meet them, Bhai word does not sound good. And it's just recently it just started happening. Since that cost 50. So that one fan following that I want not to call me Bhai has just started, which is kind of upsetting. But I guess this is This is life. You need to handle it.
So here in the audience, we have global, well-known, successful entrepreneurs, a lot of budding entrepreneurs. Job creation is a large part of their lives, and my life as well. Job creation is easier with an excellent product, but a brand attached to it creates much, much more value. Any tips for our audience as to how, according to you, a brand can be built? I know this easy one is get me to endorse it. I understand that. Get me to endorse it. I understand. And that's what many film stars do. And film stars endorsing brands, as I understand it, is a 20-year-old syndrome. Earlier, there were professional models who would endorse brands.
And I was a part of that. I started my career as a model.
So that change has brought about a significant cost element to the companies. So they obviously are seeing a huge value return in doing it. But outside of that association, which is excellent, any tips as to how one can build a brand that can be sustained, associated with a particular quality, etc.? Tough one.
Suddenly, I feel like I'm in school and I'm giving my board exams. This question, and I know I'm going to fail it because I don't know the answer to it. I don't know the answer to it. But I guess, like the way we build being human, all the things that I liked as a child, all the things that I wanted to do and I could not do, wanted to wear, I could not wear, I've just done those things all. In my movies, all the films that I've seen as a child growing up and coming out of the theater wanting to be that hero, I've just done that. I've just followed my instincts and my gut, and so far, most of the times, I have been pretty okay with that, because I believe that if I'm thinking of this, I'm sure everyone else has thought about this. So the idea, everyone has the idea. You just need to implement it. Like, everyone wants to walk on water. Kisi ne ship bana diya. Everyone wants to fly. Somebody made aeroplanes. Everyone wants to talk to people, across the world, and somebody invented the telephone. So that everyone has the same ideas, but how you implement it, and obviously quality does matter. So if you price right and your quality is great, I don't think that you could fail in that.
Another aspect which I think would be little known and it was a revelation to me, but I've actually seen some very revered global entrepreneurs getting advice from Salman. And he happily gives it. It's often extremely useful, from what I understand, to the entrepreneur. So as an actor, which is a task unto itself, it's a creative role, it's associated with shows, product endorsement. But giving business advice is something that's a rarity, I would imagine, in the career that you are in.
Yeah, so it's not actually a business advice. It's these are the things that I want to do. Now, I have an idea. I have had this idea for the longest time. I can't do it. So if I share this idea, perhaps वो idea उठा ले, वो कर ले. So just because you have an idea, it doesn't mean that you keep it. And if it's a good, noble one, I think you should give it up. And there's enough place and enough work for everyone. So, people keep on telling me that don't share your ideas, don't share your ideas. I said, why not? I have not been able to do it. If I share it, somebody else will implement it. Somebody else will benefit out of it, and through that, a whole lot of people. So I don't mind sharing ideas.
Another personal anecdote. When he put up his app, one day he tells me, can you make a small, simple summary of Indian laws applicable to many, many people? Civil, criminal, etc. So somebody can have the first aspect as to what happens in a certain situation. Fascinating, when I actually started doing some homework with my colleagues, we actually found there is nobody who's ever done it. Law is assumed to be a very complex subject in India, where you have to look at lots of books and go and talk to somebody to get advice. and it's actually on his app, it's put up. It's extremely simple, and frankly I found it a very rewarding experience to do it. So that's one more example of an idea that has had a positive impact.
So I've been reading that every day.
I don't have much more to ask. If you'd like to make a couple of closing comments, I
No,
also
sir,
not
if
well.
anyone wants to ask anything, you're more than welcome.
On entrepreneurship, let me clarify and stop questions on other topics.
Yeah, when you're going to get married and all this.
Don't ask.
Yes.
Right, so you said you have some ideas that nobody else has, being able to remember. Any idea that you want to share with somebody who you've not been able to execute in some day over your
Can you hold the microphone up close?
Oh yeah, they just keep on coming and going. Right now they're going.
Hold the microphone close to your mouth.
Yeah, I'm sure. क्या बोलूँ इसके ऊपर?
Having a question right here.
Hi, I'm Shikha Puteja, and I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a graduate from NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology, and
I could never get there.
and I specialize in designing menswear. And here's a gift for you. Can I please gift it to you?
See, now this is a great idea. This is smart.
Can we show? Spread this? Yep. Come through.
Let me just 1 second.
Come through.
Exactly. Now this is really smart. Okay.
There you go.
Cameras, television, social media. This college, I'm a graduate. I've made jacket, shirt.
Blazer.
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 Wait. I'm coming.
Sit down.
Now this is amazing. Buddy, you got it? It always doesn't work. Because what if she got me a jacket? What do I endorse? Which company I own? Be human. See, now there's a conflict of interest here. Here's your partner. Yes, sir.
I'm Nitin Rai, I'm the chair of Thai Global. What is the biggest risk you've ever taken in your career? How did that turn out?
The biggest
risk. Yeah. You've done many movies. What was the most riskiest, and how did that turn out?
recently, Tube Light, it turned out pretty okay. We have to give back quite a lot of money, but still, it turned out okay. No one lost any money in the film, and we're really happy with it.
Hi. Here. So before I ask my question, I want to tell you something. 2011, we did Bodyguard. I was, we were shooting in Lovely, Symbiosis, and we were doing the song I Love You in the football court. And my question will go there because then I used to be a budding actor and a freelancer. And today, I am running a company, a co-working space in Pune. My journey from being an actor to entrepreneur. What I wanted to say is, while we were having lunch, I was doing something, I was having a conversation, and when you happened to pass, and you just overheard it, and you just made a comment, I don't know if you remember right now, you made a comment that you're a great seller. Wow, what are you doing in acting? You should be a marketer. And that hit me so hard. Trust me, if it was anybody else, I would be thinking, oh my God, let's not think about it. And since then, I've been working on that, took a B school, became the topper, and opened a co-working space where I was a marketing head. So there are a lot of people who are going to throw questions at you, but today I'm just going to come...
This is what I meant. This is what I meant about his giving advice.
Yes. So, I don't want to throw a question at you, I just want to give you a compliment that there are many things that you do in a blink of an eye, Mr. Salman, that you don't realize that it changes someone's lives for the entire time, and you will just... And you're going to be very modest about it.
No, I'm not seriously. Most of the times, because of this, my life is a roller coaster, which I've started quite enjoying right now. I use it that people use this being Salman as as a person who spreads awareness.
Absolutely.
So sometimes allegations on me, etc., etc., etc. So I use that as चलो ये मेरा नाम इसके अंदर जुड़ जाता है तो पता चलेगा लोगों को कि ये नहीं करना, ये गलत है. अगर इसमें हम सलमान खान को अटका सकते हैं तो आप क्या चीज़ हो.
So I'll just ask you one thing.
So
What makes you so selfless, Salman?
Okay, so I'll tell you. Excuse me. You know, when I was about 15, 16, I had started partying and stuff like that because that's the age that everyone parties. So one day,
Come here and sit here.
I was been shooting as well, so I was an assistant, I was in college, and then I was working as a model as well. And I used to go out on the nights, you know, quietly.
I think taking out and giving should be a better idea.
Suit with me.
Yeah.
So I used to come and ring the doorbell at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, sweaty and track pant, and I used to tell my parents that I'd gone for a job. So I've done all that stuff. So one day, Mr. Kailash Ranganath, he's the person that the first time I ever faced the camera was in Campacola, and he was the director and producer of that commercial. So he used to take me out partying, we used to party together. One day he puts his arm around me and he says, Salman, I don't think you should waste your time in your father's money. He said that in a joke. I didn't take that as a joke. And I straight out started working, and I don't take a holiday.